Hey everybody, it's 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, so this is Keith Saarloos with Chopping It Up on 105.9 Crazy Country. And today we have a very special guest with a very special story, one of our own homegrown Los Olivos, Santa Ynez Valley residents, Efran Pulido. How you doing, Efran?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Keith.
Dude, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
This is fun because we actually were just sitting down yesterday and chopping it up, and I'm like, dude, come on, let's go on the radio because your story is amazing to me, in all honesty. Like, of all the people that live in the valley, I think your story to me is like a little bit shocking, honestly. So how did your family come to the Santa Ynez Valley originally?
My father came here on a horse ranch where Sunstone is at the time.
Yeah.
I think it was the Johnson Ranch, and
Okay.
he lived in a little trailer, and I remember he said it was so lonely because he didn't have a car, and one day he just had enough. And he walked down to Refugio Road, and he said he was going to go get, hitchhike and leave.
Yeah.
Go back to wherever he was from, or, where we're from in Mexico. And nobody came. So he walked right back and, started working and then he did some work up in Hillsburg, Santa Rosa, and then he came back and worked for the Herthels at the Equine Center.
Right. Was your dad part of the Bracero Program?
No, my grandfather.
Your grandfather was.
My grandfather was part of the Bracero Program.
So that in and of itself, to me, is like super interesting because the Bracero Program basically started World War II when everybody enlisted and went off to war. This program was basically so people could come across the border and fill in for the jobs of everybody who basically left for the war. And it was like kind of like a fast track of immigration, correct?
Right. Yeah, and he worked in the agriculture, and he told me about living in the barracks. They had barracks type living, and washing their clothes, and no real contact with anybody else other than living on the farms.
I know, it's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and they were recruited, so that was like a big thing.
They were putting it in paper, like in the papers in Mexico, where it's like, please come over. There's this whole program, fast track you in. We need people to work, basically. Right. And not a lot of people know about that program. I went down a rabbit hole one day. I think it was after you and I talked.
Right.
And just started looking into it. I'm like, this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The history is pretty gnarly. And, when in 1986, I got immigrated and I got my green card.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade at science camp, and I got to miss the last day, so I was pretty bummed. And the food was really good there, so... But, that was a Reagan era. And, so the story is pretty gnarly. And, my dad has worked really hard, and, he's done really well for himself.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. So your story, when you first immigrated, I guess is the right word.
Right.
You were telling me about where did you learn English?
I learned English at Solvang School. So Mrs. Matthews, if you're out there and you hear my great accent and how I speak English, thank you. So my parents, they lived on Chalk Hill.
Yep.
Mr. Shortell, who was a woodshop teacher back in the day. We lived in a little cottage at his property. And I remember sitting in front of the TV when I first came to the United States, and I was watching like Magnum PI and, all those things and black and white TV. And I would just sit in front of the TV and cry because I didn't understand anything they said. And then we went to school here at Solvang and learned really quickly. I think I was in kindergarten and had a lot of cool friends and still have friends from that time here in the Valley. And then we moved to Elm Street in Solvang. My mom was working for Betty Williams, who owned Buttonwood Farm. And she rented out a house to my parents.
Awesome.
And we lived right across the street from the school, and I broke windows and I got in fist fights and played a lot of basketball. So it was a good time here in Solvang.
So you went through the whole Santa Ynez Valley high school program, right?
I went through Santa Ynez High School, yes.
All the way through?
All the way through.
And then entered the military?
I entered the Marine Corps a year after I...
Happy birthday, by the way.
Yes.
250th?
250th, hoorah. And so I went through high school, did the whole high school thing, partying all through the Valley, had a great time. I was going nowhere fast, and I wanted to be a landscape architect. So I went to Santa Barbara City College. I got a certificate in environmental horticulture, and I was living in Santa Barbara. A friend of mine, brother lived out there. His name was Pat Dowhauer, and rest in peace. And he said, "Hey, you can come live in my room. I'm getting rid of it, and you can move in." So I moved down there, and so lived down there. Went to college, partied in Isla Vista, and was going nowhere fast. And I got in a little bit of trouble, and my parents said, "Hey, you got to get out of here." And so I went and I answered one of those postcards.
The ones they send you in the mail.
The ones they send you in the mail, but it was for the Army.
Really?
And, I'd lost my license. I was a total bum. And my brother gave me a ride to Lompoc. And we went into the Army recruiter's office. I had all this cool, ghillie suits and all that stuff. That's what I wanted to do, And
hey, kid, you could wear this.
Yeah. And we're sitting there and nobody showed up.
Really?
It's 6 o'clock, 6:30. And this big Marine came and he goes, "Hey, you want to be on varsity?" And I was like, yeah. And
by the way, what a line.
Right?
What a line.
Yeah.
He's like, he saw two kids sitting in the Army recruiter's office and nobody coming to help him. And he's like, "I'm going to go get these kids."
Right. And that's what he did.
That's insane.
And he goes, "You want to be on varsity?" And next thing I know, I'm sitting in his office. He's telling me, "Hey, we can get you an education. We can get you traveling." And I was just like, okay.
You want to see the world?
Let's go. And so I signed up, open contract, went in. 2 weeks later, I'm showing up at a friend's house with the recruiter. There was 4 of us that went, and 3 of us are from the Valley. And it was me, Riley Roberts, and Dave Young. And Dave Young had everybody from our senior class. They're like, "Oh, you're going to go, da-da-da-da." And there's another story to tell you later on. But we all went in.
Yeah.
And I went in the Marine Corps. And so I was in there. I was struggling. I was just like, "Oh, my gosh, there's no way I can go home." I remember it was like 5 o'clock on the 3rd day. You don't get any sleep. And we're just rocking. They just put like penicillin shot in our butt. And it's like huge. It feels like a rock in your butt. And you're just like rocking. They make you rock back and forth. And I'm staring into the sun. And I was like, "No way I'm going home. No way I'm going home." And so, I made it through and had a great time. And then went to Marine combat training and graduated as a guide and, all this great stuff. But I had bad luck all the way through, right? Right. I graduated. They didn't promote me. I was like, "What do you mean? Everybody else get promoted as a guide for their platoon." And they didn't promote me for some reason, some paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And I keep trucking, and then at the end of that training, they tell you what your MOS is. And I'm like, okay,
What's an MOS?
MOS is your military occupational specialty, your job.
Yep.
And the guy's like, 1181. And I'm like, okay, what's 1181? He's like, "You're a fabric repair specialist." And I'm like, "What is a fabric repair specialist?" And they're like, "You're going to be fixing tents and doors on Humvees." And I'm like, this is dumb, right? So I'm like, no way. So they say, "Hey, you want a hardship tour?" And at the time it was a hardship tour. And they're like, "You want to go to Japan?" I was like, "I'm going to Okinawa." So I was like, "Yes, I'm going." So I show up, and this is how small the world is. My next door neighbor was Mario Virgin. Mm-hmm. And we went to elementary school together and everything, graduated high school. And he ended up in my unit.
What?
On the same floor.
What?
It was unreal. And my brother married his sister.
So he's your brother-in-law now?
Yeah. My brother's brother-in-law. No, yeah, my brother's brother-in-law. Yeah, my brother Lee, and he married Celeste, and Celeste's brother Mario. And we were neighbors. We lived on Elm Street together. And it was great. And I ended up seeing other guys that were in the Marine Corps or that went to school, Santa Ynez High School in the Marine Corps. Like one time I went to the Chow Hall and I saw Carson Sorensen. I was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" And it was great. And I saw other people like Toby Georgie in the Marine Corps. And it was great. And then I went to Hawaii, had a great time in Hawaii. And, they didn't have my job anymore. They'd given that to military contractors. So they put me in an office, and I'm helping people and I'm giving kernels.
Oh yeah, you're such an office guy.
Yeah. And they're giving me, a typewriter, and I'm on a typewriter, blah, blah, blah. And, I didn't know anything about computers. And so they put me in a little office, and I was doing people's personal requests. Like back then you had to request if you wanted to get married, you had a request.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you wanted a license, like in Okinawa. Anyway, so I go to Hawaii, and they have a little shop there, a little parachute shop, and we're, fixing parachutes and whatnot. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to go to Thailand?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I get to go as a colonel's driver. And then we go to Thailand, and Colonel Driver, he's like, hey, I don't need a driver anymore. They arranged me with a driver here locally. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Dude, you are like the hard luck Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hard luck Forrest Gump.
Yes, I am Forrest Gump. And so anyways, they're like, okay, we're going to FAP you out. We're going to send you out to the EOD shop, Explosive Ordnance Disposal.
Wait. So you went from a fabric specialist.
Yes, fabric repair specialist.
Excuse me. to saying yes to people while they're saying, I want to go get married. And you're like, type, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, yeah.
To driving for a colonel, you said?
Yeah.
And then they said, we don't need that anymore.
A major, yeah.
So what we're going to do is explosive ordnance devices.
Disposals, yeah.
Disposals.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, we're going to send you out. You're going to do
That's a hard right.
Yeah, so I get to go hang out with these cool guys. They have like long hair. They don't have to go by any of the rules. And I'm like, this is for me. So we go out and, we do some explosive stuff. We're disposing of some ordnance out there that, and I'm
you get to play with Bang Bang.
Yeah, and it was scary at first. Like, oh my gosh, this is pretty scary. And then we go back to Hawaii, and I'm getting ready to get out. I was going to be a cop in Hawaii. That's what I thought I wanted to do. I wanted to live in Hawaii, and I still do someday.
Sure.
And he goes, hey, you'd be great for us at EOD. And I'm like, oh, I'll think about it, and I'm living with a girlfriend at the time, and I'm living the Hawaiian life,
Yeah.
And then another friend who now works at Disney, who was a lifelong Marine, and we were teammates, and we went to EOD school together. He goes, hey.
He doesn't do the fireworks at Disney, does he?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering, because you do know that number one purchaser of like TNT is U.S. military, and number two is Disney. Right? Because of all the fireworks shows they do.
Pyrotechnics, yeah.
There you go. Sorry.
So anyways, my friend Ariel Elias, we called him Angel, he comes to me and goes, hey, man, I'm going to EOD, and I want you to go with me. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. And so why not? So I go, I break up with a girlfriend, and I move to Florida and go to EOD school, which EOD school is 7 months long.
Okay.
And you have to have like super high scores. And freakishly, I guess I did pretty good in school.
You were built for this.
I was built for this. It just all came together. And we go to EOD school. I was a class leader. I mean, I was squared away. I loved to shoot, move, and communicate. Like, that was my thing. I loved all of it.
Move, and communicate. Yeah. What a great line. I love that. Okay, keep going.
So I was like, okay, this is great. I'm going to go, and I'm meeting all these, like, it's a Navy school. So, like, and most of the guys at the Navy EOD are either rollouts from buds, from the SEALs. So it's
like the first stop. That's a good way to put it. If you ring the bell in buds, and you're like, I'm done. A lot of those guys go to EOD.
Right. So we're there with all these Navy guys, or
just choppers,
chiseled guys, looking like GI Joes, and I'm like, okay, I don't look like any of these guys. And then there's the Air Force there and the Army, right? Mm-hmm. And these little kids are like 18 years old. So, anyways, I'm the class leader. We didn't have an officer, so I'm like the leader. So I can't lose. I can't not pass a test, right? So I'd always grab like the smartest little Air Force kid.
Wait, are you teaching and?
No.
Okay,
I'm
good.
in the class.
You're in the class.
I'm making sure these kids are shaved, showered,
right.
pressed, ready to
Your
go.
Dad.
I'm dad.
Your dad.
Yeah, the squad.
Got it.
Or this platoon. So I really prided myself on it because none of my kids, and I called them my kids because they were, didn't fail. Awesome. And I would grab the smartest kids.
That's a great leader, man.
Right. And I'd grab the smartest kids, and I'd be like, make me pass this test. And they'd be like, okay, Sergeant. And I was a sergeant at the time. And so we passed. And I made it through. Ariel and I both graduated. I definitely wasn't the honor grad, but I didn't roll back.
Got it.
Right. So I didn't have to go against an academic review board or anything like that because I didn't fail any tests. But I had a lot of fun. We lived out in Destin, Niceville area.
Yeah.
A lot of great partying there. Oh my gosh. I could write a book. So then
this is why I wanted you on the show, just in general. Okay.
So I could write a book, and you can ask me anything you want if you see me on the street. And so Ariel and I asked to go to 1st Platoon, and that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in the fight. I wanted to be
tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear.
Yeah.
And again, the Forrest Gump story shows up. They send me to Iwakuni, Japan, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really want to be in the fight. I want to be in the invasion. So
And this is right, Desert Storm? Desert Shield?
This is Iraq.
Iraq,
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't get to go. I'm like reading about it in the paper, and I'm training. I'm like, doing every type of martial arts, swimming. I'm going on every deployment I can go on. I remember
when you were in tier 1 shape.
Yeah, I was a monster. And so I trained my butt off, and I do my year there. I did like 7 deployments. I went to Australia, Korea, Thailand 3 times. I even did a Secret Service mission for George Bush W.
Yeah.
In New York. So I got to live in New York, which was really cool. Right in Times Square,
cool.
37th and 7th, right next to the opera. I mean,
you're an opera guy.
Oh my gosh, I was in suits every day. Oh my gosh, like you talk about. You ever heard of Hogs and Heifer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So went there like every night, and the W and Club China. I mean, I went to every club every night. It was amazing. I could write a book about New York, and then I go back. I did the deployment. I did my deployments, and then I did my year in Okinawa, and then finally it hit. I got to go to platoon.
Okay.
And platoon was the place where all the like heavy duty, heavy hitters, operators were at.
This is front line.
Front line. Yeah, it was the best of the best.
So to put it in context for people who maybe are listening, right? Hurt Locker.
Right.
That's what you were doing.
Right. We were rendering safe and prosecuting IEDs. Yeah. That was our job for Iraq.
I just got the chills, man, right. Because it's like, I've seen that movie, and that movie, just for me, like knowing you and then seeing that movie and then going, this is what you did?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, this is what I did.
Right.
So full suit, whole thing.
Full thing. Yeah. So, the movie obviously makes it,
of course,
like Ladder 47, like,
sure.
Firemen aren't always like doing backdraft and all that stuff. But, so, we gear up again. And again, the Forrest Gump story happens. My team grabs somebody else, and I don't get to go on the second deployment.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Like, this is unreal. I've been working my butt off. I have the highest PFT. I'm a shooter. I'm like this and that. And they go, hey, do you want to go to the direct action platoon with the 15th MEU, Marine Expeditionary Unit, on a ship? And you get to, go with the recon guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course I do. So I go, and Ariel and I go. And again, a little bit of struggles again, right?
Right.
I
uphill both ways.
Yes. I DQ. I shoot around downrange when I wasn't supposed to.
Oh no.
And I got jumped. I got jumped.
Yeah.
I mean, there was everybody, like just like drill instructor style. And they kicked me off the team. And I was devastated, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, but we were shooting all day, every day, loading rounds. I mean, my thumbs, I couldn't feel my thumbs. We loaded so many rounds. And I was priding myself like, oh, I'm going to be one of these guys.
I'm elite.
I'm the man.
Yeah.
Right. And so anyways, I get put back on the green side. Okay. So the black side was, with the recon team. I go back to the green side, and I'm going with every infantry unit, like going on every range, shooting, running around, helicopters, everything. Right. Mm-hmm. And we get orders that we're going to go to Iraq. Mm-hmm. So we go to Iraq.
So what does it feel like the minute you get those orders? Is it a cold chill down your spine, or is it finally, let's go?
It's like game day.
Really?
It's game day. Okay. Like, let's go.
You're training for this. This is what you're built for. You're ready to go.
Yeah. You become so hardened, thick. So
you're a Marine.
Yeah. And I was bought in, that's what I did. Whether I liked people or not, I was going to do the mission, and, every Marine is, Yeah. So I come home, I tell my final goodbyes to my mom and dad, and I even went to the school, and my sister was a senior. She was at the high school, and I went and I talked to her in the office, and I said, don't cry for me. Like, if I die, I want you guys to celebrate my life. I sold all my belongings. Like, I was ready to, to die. And so we go. We stop in Hawaii, and then we're supposed to go to Guam. We don't stop to Guam. We go straight to Kuwait. Mm-hmm. And we get a couple of. I never like gave anybody my address because I never wanted mail. Yeah. I didn't want mail. I didn't want pity. I didn't want to hear anything.
You were focused.
I was focused.
Got it.
And one day, the night before we go to Kuwait, I get this care package from my roommate. And it's like 2 bottles of Listerine full of Captain Morgan and dirty magazines. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, like, why is he sending me this? And, you know,
package.
I've never been like a hard alcohol drinker in my life. I just can't do it. And this gunny, this is just a side story. This gunny comes, and he must have been an alcoholic. And he comes and goes, hey, I heard you got a care package. And I'm like, I did. And he goes, what was it? And I'm like,
Listerine.
And he goes, let me see it. And I'm like, okay. So I show it to him. He goes, hey, let me take a swig. I'm like, okay. Gave him a swig. Went back to, you know, because we got to go on a convoy to Baghdad the next day.
So you're quote unquote in country at this point.
Yeah, we're in Kuwait. And at the line.
Yeah.
And he's like 15 minutes later, hey, man, let me get another swig. And I'm like, okay.
Here, man, just take it.
He goes, no, you drink it with me. So I'm like, okay, I'll take another shot. Like, I'm going to sleep.
Right.
Well, ended up all night, right? Came back like the third time, and we pounded the whole bottle. And I didn't wake up till like 1500 the next day. That was just 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he had a meeting like at 4 a.m. And I don't know how he made it, but he did. Long story short, we drive into Baghdad, and
what was that like?
It was unreal. It was like a movie.
So how close to the beginning of the war in Iraq were you there? Like,
yeah. So
when you're driving in, are they pulling down statues or is
no? That was all done.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got there at the height of the improvised explosive devices.
Yes.
Where there was just IEDs littered all over the highways.
Okay.
And
what were they making them out of?
They were making them out of everything. You know, most of the ones that we prosecuted and rendered safe was old military ordnance.
Okay.
And they would have like radio base stations. They'd have cell phones, integrated circuits, you know, just kind of sophisticated stuff that we can go on down a rabbit hole later on.
Yeah.
What I think.
Yeah.
So we're driving down, and there's just like military vehicles coming back, just charred from IEDs, you know, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
So we finally
got real quick.
It got real quick. And so they sent us to FOB Falcon, which is Forward Observation Base Falcon, south of Baghdad International Airport. And so we go there, and they're like, we need a unit to go with the infantry, like foot mounted. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. So I go, you know, we go hang out, blowing up stuff, shooting all kinds of good stuff. And then we get back. And they're like, we need guys to clear the roads and live at the checkpoint. And I'm like, take me, right? Just like that Bible verse, right?
Yep, for here am I.
Yeah. So it almost brings me to tears, but I'm like, okay, let's go. So they're like, you're going to go live at checkpoint 22. We're driving there, and it gets mortared. And this kid gets effed up. And like, this is where we're going to live. And it was just like, you know, it was called Hosco barriers. And it's just like a sand wrapped in like wire. And that's where we lived. It was everywhere. And so we lived with the Iraqi National Guards. And we'd get, you know, dispatched out of there. Hey, there's an IED over here, an IED over there. But my first IED we prosecuted was on my birthday, March 24th. And it was at night. And I was like, this is how I'm going to go. So
someone calls and says, we have identified an IED.
Right.
And you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
You're like a fireman at that point.
Right.
You're booting up, suiting up.
Yeah.
And going out to where guys are by the side of the road.
Right.
Pointing at something and saying, there it is.
Right.
And how are they spotting these things?
They're just walking or driving by something, and they see something suspicious.
Think about that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, we live here and it's safe. You know, like the worst thing that's going to happen this week is probably the best thing that happened then in Iraq, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying that on the side of the road, these guys are just cruising, walking, doing whatever. And they're like, hey, that looks funky.
Right.
Call them in. and you're like, let's go.
Right.
And you would just go out there and have no idea what you're going, like, that's the part of this whole thing that blows my mind, right? Where you're saying there was all these different styles. There were all these different packages.
Right.
You had no idea what you were going to show up to. If this thing was, let's just say it could be the size of a Pepsi can.
Right.
Or it could be the size of a diesel tanker.
Right.
And you have no idea until you show up.
Yeah. So
That's insane.
We were on main supply route, Tampa, Irish, and Bug, and it was called the Triangle of Death. And you could look at, do newspaper articles about it, and it was just like the most heavily IED area in all of Iraq.
That's the one we all heard about all the time.
Right. So I'm living on the and I'm like loving it. I love it. And, not taking showers, not shaving. It was great. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but
no, I get it.
Living like that is just great. And I remember our first IED, like I said, it was my birthday, and it's at night, and we go down there, and it wasn't that bad. We went down there, we cut what we had to cut and pull it out and do, remote pulls and stuff like that. And then we took all the evidence and we would save it and take it to the sexy cell in Baghdad International Airport, where they would, do, the forensics and all that stuff. Yeah,
they're trying to figure out who did this.
Right. So anyways, the next day we go, and it's during the day and it's hot. I lost like 26 pounds in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And we get a call, we go down there, we could see it, we're binoing it, we know exactly where it is. And we send down the Talon robot, and the Talon robot goes down range. And for some reason, maybe it was our jammers, the hand didn't work, and it had the charge on it to put on top of the 155 millimeter South Spanish rounds. And they're like, all right, we got to send somebody down there. It's not coming back. And I'm like, I'll go. Right. So I go down there, I get the bomb suit on, and this is a major highway.
Yeah.
This is like if you shut down 101 both ways.
Yes. Yes.
And, people are like dying. They're dead in cars, like coffins on top of, wooden coffins on cars on both sides. Whoa. People are freaking out. They need to go to the hospital.
It's 120 degrees.
Yeah, 120 degrees. And I'm in a bomb suit. I'm walking down. And I remember just like, okay, it's going to happen, but I got to do what I got to do. So I went down there. I cut the zip ties off that was holding the charge, and I put it on the thing. And I remember just seeing the blinking light on the IED.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, it's going to happen. And it had a little.
What did it look like?
It was 2 rounds, and then it had a telephone base station on it that was blinking.
Blinking.
Yeah. So if they touch home on the cell phone or on the phone.
Yeah. Boop.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. And it also had a timer on it. It had a washing machine timer, and you can look them up if you don't know.
Yeah.
And I just put the charge on top of it and went back down range, like
walked
nothing,
away,
and blew it up. And then after that, we were like, we're not walking away from it anymore. We're going to prosecute. We're going to render safe all these IEDs, and we're going to get them back to sexy cell. So that's what we started doing. We didn't blow them in place anymore, which is called BIP. So then towards the end,
jeez,
we're doing this every day. How
many are you doing a day?
3 or 4.
3?
Yeah. And then Thursdays was even more, because that's when the church let out, or wherever they were getting it from.
Right.
And that's the day that they worship. And then the day after, that's when it just would go after.
So you were doing this 3 times a day?
At least.
Like, firemen don't go to 3 fires a day.
Right.
And you guys were walking up to mist machines,
right,
basically.
Yeah.
With that were not put together by a professional.
Right.
That if you bump it wrong, 2 wires cross.
Right. Or they hit it.
Or they touch it, they hit something.
Yeah.
Or they're sitting one hill over with some binoculars.
Oh, yeah. And there was command wire also. So one of the most interesting ones, the one that I got a Navy Commendation Award for Valor.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It was the largest IED prosecuted in the region at the time. I don't know if anybody beat it later on, but...
how big?
It was a 500-pound bomb. Yeah.
500 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, put that in perspective. What does a 500-pound bomb do?
Well, they use it to blow up buildings, right? You call them in to blow up a building.
Got it. Holy cow.
Yeah. And
how big is this thing?
it's probably as big as this table, like long wise.
Yeah, like an office table.
Like an office table, but just big and round. And I'll tell you the funny part about it. So we go down there.
None of this is funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's insane.
Yeah. And so the funny part that I'm telling you is we're going down range and the radio guy's down a ways, and I yell to him. I'm like, hey, tell Gunny Luther that it's a 500-pound bomb.
Okay, hold on one second. So I'm not going to stop you because I want to hear all of this story, but we've hit our 30-minute mark. So this is going to be 2 episodes.
Oh, great.
100%. So if you're listening right now, we have Efran Pulido on here, local man about town, showing, smiling, talking about his days in Iraq as a Marine.
Corps, yeah.
And he was basically hurt locker. I mean, that's the best way to do it. So this is going to be 2 episodes. So back to your regularly scheduled programming. We'll be back at 10 a.m. the Saturday after this. Okay.